And check out this video from Yinlin Waves, guys. Big updated. Confirm 1.3 to 2.1 banner roadmap. Scar, Geshu Lin, Camellia, Wuthering Waves. I did watch another video from Yinlin the other day. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that's going on regarding to the banners now is kind of people just like, there's a lot of recapping going on the information that we kind of already had, and it's been tweaked a little bit here and there. I'm guessing from some of the leakers and some of the information that we're getting and stuff that's coming directly from Kuro themselves. So I haven't really been doing too much of this, but let's see what she's got to say in this video and see if anything new and interesting is coming up. Let's check it out.
Welcome back, Woo-Wah players.
Woo-wah!
Just a few minutes ago, I have received some leaks related to version 2.1. So today in this video, we will discuss the character banner roadmap from version 1.3 to version 2.1, in which we will discuss about all the upcoming new characters like the Shorekeeper, Yoo-Hoo, Camellia, Lumi, Chun, Scar, and rerun banners. The video is going to be really interesting, so make sure to watch till the end. First, we will discuss about version 1.3 character banners, then slowly making our way towards version 2.1. I'll also share my opinions in this video on how to save your A sprites to pull your favorite character.
What's about this? He's like some 45-year-old dude. You know?
So first, let's discuss about version 1.3. We already know all the information related to version 1.3.
Let's get through it then.
So I am going to keep this chapter brief. Version 1.3.
Again, as I said, a lot of these videos at the mini, which I'm not judging the people who do this sort of content, but we're kind of like hashing over ground that we've already gone over.
Right around the corner of September, which will be releasing on September 28th of this month. Speaking about the character banners we are going to get in version 1.3, so in phase 1 of version 1.3, we can get to pull the Shorekeeper as a new 5-star character banner, followed by additional 3 4-star character banners of Yoo-Hoo, Yang Yang, and Chixia. Now let's have a brief discussion about these new characters. So I
think not only do I want Shorekeeper because of her kit, she's cool, she's going to suit me, but the fact of Yoo-Hoo being on the banner as well, just like, it just makes it a must pull for me personally. And obviously if the Camilla banner, he's going to have Lumi on the banner as well. Back-to-back banners, we're going broke with it. We're going broke with it, boys.
Keeper is said to be a healer with Spectro attribute, and she uses a special called Rectifier. It is said that she is going to have 2 forms, one being her standard form, and in other, she can transform into a butterfly to explore the world.
We know
and
this.
also
We've
she has a
this.
special intro animation, similar to that of Kalkaro and Personal Domain.
Oh, actually, I didn't know she had an intro animation. That's actually news to me. Did you guys know about this? I didn't know about this. The Personal Domain, the expanded freaking domain. I didn't know about this animated intro. This is cool because Calcharo's the only character in the game that's got that, isn't he? And I've been saying for ages, considering he feels like this remnant of an old game and he's kind of been left to the wayside, it's interesting the fact that he's the only character with an animation intro, or an animated intro, should I say. So I didn't know that she had one. Interesting. Okay, that's cool.
The Shorekeeper is going to be one versatile character with so many additional
domain
skill sets.
Expansion ult.
Rather than Camellia, I am definitely going to pull her. What about you guys?
Both of them.
Now moving on to another new female character, she is going to be Yoo-Hoo. Yoo-Hoo is also said to be a healer with Glacio attribute, and similar to Xiangli Yao, she is a gauntlet user. Yoo-Hoo is said to be great at close-range fighting character. That was all about phase 1 of version 1.3. Now moving on to phase 2 of version 1.3, which will be releasing in the first of second week of October.
She's the rerun,
as we have already got the Shorekeeper as a new 5-star character in phase 1, and also Yoo-Hoo as a new 4-star character. Kuro Games have decided to make a rerun banner of Jian in phase 2.
So is the rerun confirmed then? Like, because as I was aware, I didn't know it had been yet to be confirmed. It was like people was pretty much 99% on it, but has it actually been confirmed now? Because I'm all up for this. I'm up for like a few reruns. I know some people are like, it's happening really early, but I think it's fine within the way things are going. They've had to bring certain things forward, so it's definitely good to have these little buffers. But as far as I'm aware, this still hasn't been confirmed. Well, it keeps coming out, doesn't it, from different sources, this information, and so far the leaks with this game and the information that's dropping tends to be pretty much on the mark. So I'm confident it's going to happen, but yeah, we haven't had this confirmed yet.
Of version 1.3, along with 3 additional 4-star character banner of Mortefi, Sanhua, and Taoki.
Good
I really love Jian and couldn't pull him in the past.
it makes sense as well for Gian to follow on with Yoo-Hoo being in that banner as well, because it seems like Yoo-Hoo is actually going to be a good buffer for Morphe, which in turn is obviously going to help Gian as well. So it's a good banner to re-roll Gian right after Yoo-Hoo, actually, to be fair. So
I'm not going to miss this opportunity. So players, that was all about version 1.3 character banners. Make sure to leave your opinions in the comment on who you are pulling in this version.
Why are you using a
Now let's make our
man?
way towards version 1.4. So recently,
so
we have received
judgmental of
official
that.
character banners of version 1.4, released by Kuro themselves.
Yep.
They have shared the drip marketing character banners of Camellia and Lumi.
So with Camellia and Lumi as well, we know that Yoo-Hoo's on the banner. Is Lumi on the banner? Like, as far as I'm aware, I didn't realise that had been 100% confirmed as well. I'm assuming that's the case, because it's smart anyway, because it's going to make what is already an incredibly anticipated character, it's just even more anticipated, really, because you're going to be getting a new character that everybody wants, and then plus a new 4-star as well, which is just going to make the banner better, isn't it? So I'm pretty sure that's going to happen, but I wasn't 100 if they'd actually told us that yet.
Previously called Dung Dang.
I've been assuming it for a while,
account.
to be fair, so.
It was really a surprising move by Kuro Games to release the drip marketing banners of version 1.4 characters this soon, which they have never done in the past.
I think it's a smart move. Drop the artwork, drop the characters, let you know kind of what the crack is, and that's it. Be as tight on the kits as possible, because for me, it's the kit leaks that can really affect the next upcoming banner. If the kit on a character in a future banner is just insane, you're gonna skip, aren't you? Well, a lot of people are.
But this was really a good news to many players who were eagerly waiting for Camellia from a very long time.
One of my most hyped characters, so that means I'm going to lose my 50-50.
So in phase 1 of
given.
version 1.4, we can get to pull Camellia. Camellia is going to be a 5-star character with Havoc attribute, and she is going to be a sword using character. After 2 versions of update, we are finally getting a sword using character. So, in the previous stories have revealed that she is a character who belongs to the Black Shores organization, just like the Shorekeeper. The version 1.4 storyline is going to mainly focus on Camellia and Black Shore's organization starting from version 1.3, but her full abilities have not yet revealed. But it is said that she is going to be a DPS character utilizing vines to strike the enemies. So that was all.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really do hope though that they add a vine animation when she's climbing and we just see like a Dr. Octopus climb. I just hope that's a thing.
About Camellia. Now moving on to another female character we can get to see in phase 1 of version 1.4, she can be Lumi. Since Lumi is a 4-star character, there is a chance that we may get to see her in phase 1 itself, just like Yoo-Hoo with the Shorekeeper, along with some additional 4-star
Lumi's
characters.
design.
So, talking about Lumi, she is said to be a 4-star resonator with Electro attribute, which we can easily predict assuming her dress's color scheme, and she literally has a bulb fixed to her tail in the end. And rumors are that she is going to be a broad blade user. I really don't. How much of this information is true, seeing that her personality resembles that of a Lolicon character, and a broad blade is going to be really big for her.
Yeah, but let's not pretend that's not a thing in anime though, and in the whole anime culture of small, spindly characters wielding, like, you know, massive weapons. Like, it's kind of a thing, isn't it? You know, typically that they are the character that wields the big hammer, the big scythe, the big sword kind of thing, you know, because it's just a thing, isn't it? So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. How that would work in the animations of the combat, I don't know. Could be kind of cool. But there's a point there to be made that, like, in regards to the combat animations, it might look a little bit odd. But I just think because she's a smaller character, well, we don't even know how small she is, actually, but I'm assuming she's smaller and slender. That doesn't mean that she can't be carrying a big weapon.
But I think this can be partially true, as in version 1.1, we got Changli, who is a sword-using character, paired with Jinzi, who is a broad blade user. Now, this fact really excited me to see an Electro attribute character using a broad blade. Now that's a badass combination. Now moving on to phase 2 of version 1.4. Congratulations, folks. We are going to get a rerun banner of Yinlin. I know many players in the past have missed the opportunity to pull Yinlin, but Kuro Games are...
well, I'm assuming the signature weapons are going to come back on the reruns as well. I'll be pulling on a weapon. I've got depending on where I am after the previous banners, I've got enough asteroids. I might pull on her again just to get a copy, but I'm probably going to be pulling on a weapon. I do regret not actually getting a weapon, actually.
Are so generous, they are giving us players an opportunity to pull her again.
She's a
But
really good
kudos
character.
to me, who has already predicted
Top tier
Yinlin
off-field
rerun banner
character.
by analyzing version 1.3 as Jian to going to make his rerun in version 1.3. So, talking about Yinlin, she is a 5-star character with an electro element attribute who uses a rectifier as her weapon. Yinlin can be played.
Like, I've been hearing, obviously, the talks of Jinsei rerun happening as well, and some people talking, from what I've been seeing, that potentially that's when we might get skins dropping on the Jinsei rerun. I don't know how true that is. There's been this rumor of the skins coming for a while, but there was a talk of the first skins potentially being Jinsei and Sanhua, and Sanhua's being a skin that I think you can obtain free, and Jinsei's being a premium one. So that could kind of make sense if you did get a Jinsei rerun and then skins came along with Jinsei as well, just to make, you know, add to the FOMO, I guess.
Played as a main or sub DPS character. Now moving on to the second character related to Phase 2 of version 1.4. It is being said that she can Lumi if we don't get to see Lumi in Phase 1 of version 1.4, but I think is possible as both the character...
What did that sentence mean? It could be Lumi, potentially, if Lumi's not in 1.4. Is that what that she was trying to say there?
Are electro type and they can be paired in the same phase. So now the question is, who are you going to pull in version 1.4? Camellia, Lumi, or Yinlin? This is going to be a hard choice for many players, but I bet 75% of...
I think potentially it might be difficult if you don't have Yinlin, because she is very good. She is very good. I suppose it depends on how your account's set up, though, you know? For me, it's got to be Camellia. It's got to be, just because, like, I've already got Yinlin, and she's my most hype character, but, like, Yinlin's a really good character for the account, man. She really is. The off-field damage that she's got is just amazing. She's a great support role character. Yeah, man. I suppose it's a little bit more difficult if you don't have her, but for me, all day, Camellia, all day.
the players are waiting to pull Camellia, and the other 25% may pull Yinlin. Make sure to leave your opinions and save your astrites. So that was all about version 1.4. Before making our way towards version 2.0 and 2.1, I want to remind you about the giveaway that I'll be making when my channel hits 15,000 subscribers. So make sure to participate in that competition. Thank you. Now moving on to version 2.0. For now, it has been officially confirmed that we are going to get Chun in version 2.0. As you guys know,
this was the old Camellia, wasn't it? This is what she initially looked like. And I've been saying for a while, I'm interested to see how she's going to be introduced. If she's literally just going to be thrown in kind of like how Cal Charo is, you know, how Cal Charo's got no connection to the story at the minute, that she'll be kind of thrown in as just like another character that'll act a bit like a buffer that won't necessarily have connection to the lore and the story. This is all from me. Like, I'm getting this nowhere but from myself. I don't know, that skin might have just been moved on to another character that's in the game that was like, had a part in the world, had a part in the story, and they've just given it a new look now. But I was just thinking it'd be a good way to take an old design, attach it to a character that's got nothing to do with the story, so they don't have to work on all that, and they can just give us a new character, new kit, all that sort of stuff without having to build up around the character. So it's like, you know, it just acts as like a little stopgap kind of banner.
Oh, Chun is the previous design of Camellia, but she has been renewed as a new character. Chun is said to be a 5-star character with the Glacio element attribute, and she is going to be a gun-wielding character. I mean, finally, after a decade, we got to see a gun-wielding character.
Yeah, it's just good for people who like range.
And Chun was the most anticipated gun-wielding character we players had been waiting for a very long time. For now, these are the only limited information.
See, for me, I've got to see a kit. She needs to have an insane kit, and I need to see the gameplay for this because I really like her design, and I'm wanting a reason to play range characters. But for me in this game, I'll use Mortar Free from time to time, but I'm not big on the range gameplay in this game. Now, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just in comparison to the rest of the gameplay, how good it feels, and Again, it doesn't feel bad, but for me, it just doesn't feel as good. It almost feels a little bit cumbersome in comparison to the rest of the game. Now, that's not saying it's cumbersome in the grand scheme of things, just in comparison to the rest of the game. So yeah, hopefully, if she's got a really good kit and she like does some really cool stuff in terms of animations and on field, maybe it's going to be a character that I'm looking towards. But at the moment, I'm kind of like, I'll probably skip that character. Well, depends where I'm at with my account, where we're at, like, you know, what's coming after and all that sort of stuff, whether I decide to just try and pull both or whatever. But yeah, Gotta wait and see for that one.
I have received related to version 2.0. Now, talking about another new character related to version 2.0, she is going to be a new female 4-star or 5-star character. The reason why I am saying female character is because there is a strict rumor going on saying we are not going to get any new male character until version 2.1. So it is my strong belief the second resonator for version 2.0 is going to be a new female character again, as Kuro Games got to make more money. So that was all about version 2.0. Now let's discuss about all the rumors related to version 2.1, which are being circulated on websites like Weeba and number 404. These rumors are just rumors, so take them with a grain of salt, pepper, whatever. So in phase 1 of version 2.1, there are some strong hints that we may get to pull Scar. The reason being after version 1.2, version 1.3 is going to focus its plot related to the Black Shores organization. So in version 1.3, we are getting the Shorekeeper, and in version 1.4, we are getting to pull Camellia, and both the characters belong to the Black Shores organization. So following this pattern, there are chances of us getting Scar in version 2.1 along with some additional 4-star.
I think other than just what they've said there, like it. Obviously, we don't know what's happening with the PlayStation just yet. Hopefully, tomorrow at the live stream or today, whenever this is, or we've already found this out, whenever if I decide to upload this video, they're going to talk about the PlayStation launch. It would make sense for me with a character like Scar that's so anticipated to get it out at 2.1 if the PlayStation comes at 2.0. Because then you're getting people who coming in 2.0, it's going to be big, massive PlayStation launch, new story beat, potentially a new area for us to explore in the world. People on PlayStation are going to get to play through 1.0, get to be introduced to Scar, all that hype's coming, and then Scar banner drops, you know? It kind of makes sense that would be something to do, at least, I guess, from a marketing standpoint and hype, and because I think most people who play through the game, even if you're not necessarily looking forward to Scar's banner, enjoy Scar, because I think he's one of the best characters in the game, and I think it's the voice actor is the reason for that as well. And the character itself is written quite well, and it's just a cool character in the story. So it kind of would make sense for that reason, as well as what's going on with the Black Shores and all that sort of stuff, because I just think it would be a perfect way to start the banners, brings in a male character, it starts the banners in a strong point for the PlayStation launch, and then, you know, we go from there kind of thing.
Characters. Now moving on to phase 2 of version 2.1. As I have already said, we are not getting any male characters until 2.0. So there are rumors going around saying it is finally time to see Geshu Lin in action. But I strongly debunk this rumor. As we already know, Geshu Lin is not alive, and he has nothing to do with the plot in the current timeline of the story. But we also...
That doesn't mean, though, that he can't be, because let's not forget this game does go along with this temporal element to the story, doesn't it? You know what I mean? And there's what we saw with that little trailer with the Black Shores of like that energy going up into the sky and causing that like almost like a fracture in the sky, and a shorekeeper being introduced, and the fact that she's been around for eons. So we're gonna lean more into that temporal thing. It doesn't mean we don't go back, or that character can still be brought into the game without them necessarily being alive at this particular point. Even if we might even find out that what we thought was true, that they were not alive, isn't, you know, there's always that like situation that can happen where it's like, oh, okay, the character's alive now, and then we find out how they actually are alive. Again, like I said, it could be this, we could even have a multiversal kind of thing where, you know, we just don't know. So I wouldn't rule that out just because a character's supposedly supposed to be dead in the current timeline, that they won't become a future playable character.
So can't ignore the rumor of Geshu Lin being Scar in disguise. I don't want to talk about Geshu Lin anymore, and this is going to be my last video talking about him unless I get some strong leaks related to him. So that was all for today, guys. Hope you guys like this video.
I just feel like Geshu Lin, because he's so hyped. For me, personally, I'm not that bothered about it. But I think it's a cool character. I just think there's so much hype surrounding him. I feel like at some point he's going to be introduced as a character, or we're going to have some sort of connection and be introduced to him via the story, whether it's a throwback and then the character gets used like in that regard. I don't know. Like I said, there's a temporal anomaly thing that's kind of attached to this game. We don't know the grander scheme of things regarding all that sort of stuff anyway. So it's an easy, you know, some people don't like the trope of things like time travel and all this sort of stuff and potential multiversal stuff and pocket universes and introduce, you know, whatever mechanic that can kind of just bring a character back. I know some people don't like that, but in a game like this, it's kind of perfect for just bringing a character back into the roster. It works for comics. It can work for this sort of stuff, in my opinion, as well.
Saying that thank you and peace out.
Yeah, that's true. But again, you know, it's told in a third person sense, isn't it? So can we really believe that he is actually dead? You know, we don't know for fact. It's alluded to heavily that that's the case. He is, but we just don't know, do we? And like I said, again, if there's some sort of temporal thing, we could go back and maybe there's a quest where we stop that happening. We change the future. We just don't know, do we? I think having that element in the game, the potential to change things, rewrite things, it's kind of endless in a way, isn't it, as well? You know, the rover themselves has been in a lot of these moments throughout time. So I guess we'll see. I think writing the character off as it's just not going to happen because we're led to believe he's dead. I don't think is necessarily the best thing to say, but you know, it's the only information we've got now, so we've got to go with that. But anyway, great video from Yinlin Waves. You should go check them out if you want, guys, if you want this sort of leak information. Must admit, again, this is why I haven't really been watching too many of these videos at the minute, because everybody's kind of going over the same, hashing over the same leaks at the moment, because I think a lot of the leaks have been strangled because of what Kuro have been saying. I think some people have probably accepted, look, I'm going to back off, I don't want to do this anymore, and maybe some people have been threatened with legal action as well and have just had to stop doing what they're doing, because it seems like the leaks have definitely slowed down a little bit, and we're seeing like a lot of the same stuff being rehashed again. But yeah, great video. Yeah, let me know what you guys think as well.